the lay of over. Oh, sorry.
Hello, and welcome to the Around the Birch Fire podcast for September 30th of 2017. I'm joined by my two good friends, Therercher and Zayon. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Sergey?
Circuit Bomb is gone. He's kill.
Did he die?
He is dead. DED dead.
Circuit? Oh man.
I'm guessing he's taking a poop.
Jesus. It's supposed to be professional.
Yes, we are professional. Professionals still have to poop. It's a fact of life. Well, we might as well get started. Welcome back to Around the Birch Fire. Don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, and if you've already subscribed, don't forget that bell icon so you get a notification of every time we post a video.
Is that just a meme now?
Yes, which is kind of ironic because everyone makes fun of that and YouTubers doing that, but YouTube actually tells them to do that, and it actually works to help increase those numbers for them. So it's like kind of a catch-22. It's like, yeah, it's annoying, but at the same time, it's like,
It actually works because nobody actually understands how the bell system works.
Yes, no one but YouTube, and then YouTube changes it all the time.
Yeah.
And now YouTube has a new layout too, which isn't really new, but it is still pretty new.
I mean,
did I miss the introduction?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, my mistake. My attention got pulled away. Hey everybody, I'm Circuit Bomb.
Hi.
Hello, Circuit Bomb. Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, every time I like my Chrome gets reset, I open YouTube up for the first time, and I'm just like, oh, did they change things? Is this a new upload, a new layout? No, it's the same layout that I did like as soon as it appeared. Yeah. Oh, Circuit, have you haven't played anything yet this week, have you?
Well, I did get the new Humble Bundle that just came out, and I loaded and installed up Cryptarch because I've been interested in that game for a little while, and decided that with it being in the bundle that it was high time to go ahead and get it. And I did. I installed it, and I got through the intro, and then my attention got drawn away, and I had to close the application. But so far, the artwork is quite amazing. It's really good. The
nice.
User interface is really kind of nice too. Instead of kind of like having a back button to the settings menus and stuff like that, you actually just push escape, and it's got like a kind of a neat transition. So looking forward to really diving into it probably tomorrow, and seeing just how well the game plays and the incredible artwork that makes it up. And, so.
Well, what kind of game is it?
It's a platform game, Metroidvania kind of, takes place in space with a kind of a little bit of a cyberpunk feel to it, very sci-fi. The trailer is really nice. The gameplay trailer has some sweet visuals and stuff, just kind of showing it off and everything. So,
Ooh.
yeah.
Nice.
And
Very
there's also Apotheon or whatever that was also part of the Humble Bundle that I'm looking forward to playing. I really kind of like the Greek art style of that game, and have been looking forward to playing that as well.
Yeah, it looks pretty. I mean, I forget when it came out. It literally says it here, February 3rd of 2015, and it was a pretty interesting looking Greek kind of side-scrolling game where I think you like fought the gods for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're all in that Humble Bundle though. I think it's actually just their Humble Bundle, isn't it?
I think so. Well, I don't know. There's another game that I was looking at that looks really interesting. It's called Heat Signature, and it's by the creators of a pretty good platformer game. Well, I've heard that it's pretty good. I haven't actually played Gunpoint yet. It's called Gunpoint. But Heat Signature looks really good. It's kind of top-down style, roguelike, in kind of like the spirit. I want to say kind of, just top-down, similar to let me see. Here, I'll just link it.
Yeah, very good link.
They're in Twitch chat.
Twitch chat, alright. Let me find that window. There it is. Spaceship's cool Heat Signature. Huh. What is it? Oh, wait a minute. This is about. Don't you like fly out? Yeah, it's by the Gunpoint guys. Yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah, and it looks really nice. The artwork and stuff. I'm a big fan of pixel games and kind of little indie games and stuff like that. And it's always games like this. They kind of have like a certain kind of take on certain gameplay and everything like that. Always attracts my attention.
Yeah, it's you just run around breaking into spaceships, and it makes a bunch of kind of cool like story elements where you have to like, hey, I just like jumped out of a spaceship and trying to get my other spaceship to like come pick me up because I don't know if I have enough fuel, but I was able to fire my gun like in a direction to propel myself towards it or something like that. Which
and I guess like one of the concepts is that you kind of you sneak into a ship, you take out the crew, and then I guess maybe
you get the ship. I think.
Yeah, you have to get out of the ship. Like I guess maybe since I haven't played it yet, but maybe the ship closes up or something and has like a timer or something that you have to figure your way out of it. And I think that's kind of a cool concept for a game like this.
Yeah, I like the idea of that. What about you, Zan? You do any game searching? Find anything that you liked
this week? Well, no, it's pretty much been the same that I have been playing. A little bit of Dead by Daylight, some Gary's Mod Harry Potter RP, and then me playing some Dark Souls.
Yeah.
You doing it the first time? What are your impressions of it so far?
The fucking keyboard and mouse controls suck.
Yes, they do.
I had to run out and actually get a controller.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what happens when they make a game just for console and then they end up porting it to PC later. They don't have keyboard and mouse in mind.
I mean, they could have at least made it so that way the mouse is just like bound to that window, even in full screen.
Yeah, but that would be too easy though.
Like I've seen,
they can make it harder.
Like there's games that have some pretty bad console, like PC ports that don't have that issue. Well,
yeah, that's true.
Like most of like console port to PC issues is like the menus don't work right, or I don't know, they completely messed up with a specific kind of graphics card, and it just shits the bed. I don't know, I mean, it doesn't seem as hard.
You're gonna have to make sure that you start updating the title of the cast, man.
Yeah, I do actually. Wait. You mean the talking about part or just the
Just the title.
Why?
For me, screwing around with mods?
I changed it like twice and updated it twice. Because it is around the birch fire too for me.
Yeah, maybe it just hasn't updated.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I honestly am more thinking about, I want to play the next ones probably more than this one. You know, I'm sure most the other Dark Souls are probably a lot more exciting than the first one, right?
The first one's pretty good. It's kind of slow picking up at the start, but once we get to about the halfway point, it picks up a lot better.
Oh. Does it get any harder? Because this is like one of the easiest games. Yeah,
We are actually doing pretty well in it, so of course you do have me to help, but it does make it simpler when you have someone else to help you through it for sure.
I mean, it's nice. I like it. The game kind of environment that I've been trying to get in, like thinking about getting into for a little while, but I just never did.
Yeah, it's I mean, some people, it's either you like it or hate it, because just, you know, it's a game mostly revolving around like the combat and stuff, so if you don't end up liking the combat, you're probably not going to like the game so much.
Yeah, I just those controllers. I don't like controllers.
Yeah, I try to avoid them when I can. The only game I actually play controller on PC is Dark Souls, and that's literally the only game I have.
Yeah, like shit, the first boss battle I was having issues with because I had to look while running and moving, and that just involves you like holding the B button with your index finger. Just
Yeah, while steering with your thumb, that's what I do. Yep.
Yeah, it's
pretty awful.
It is.
But usually you're not attacking or doing anything else when you're running, so it's not so bad. Because I don't even play like Rocket League with a controller, even though they recommend playing with one. I still do keyboard and mouse just because I don't really like using a controller.
Yeah, every game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, there's games that I like playing with controllers if I have the option, and then there's a lot. I mean, many more games in comparison, though. I much prefer to use the keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot easier, like a lot nicer to use. And it offers total control.
Complete control.
Complete control, is that the meme?
The maximum meme.
Yeah. But, you know, well, we got a decent like group of people to watch that at least. I had like 5 viewers kind of consistently throughout that. You know, as long as you're around to guide my flame bearing or whatever the hell the lore of that game is, you know, it should be good.
Yes, the very, very deep lore that you have to read a lot and cross-reference stuff. Luckily, people have all done that on YouTube, but you can just watch videos to learn about it.
Nice. Or just not even care about the lore and just play through the game.
Yep, you can do that too.
Yeah. Well, I saw you were playing some Starbound the other day, Circuit. When are you gonna start streaming that?
You know, as soon as I get OBS and stuff running and whatnot. Yeah, it just kind of depends. Yeah, I have been playing some Starbound. I recently updated our dedicated server to run on the latest version. And you know, talked to a good friend of mine who's been playing it. He was at first really kind of skeptical about it because he typically doesn't like playing games like Starbound and kind of like the side-scroller platformer games, I guess. But I told him, you know, just to check it out, and you know, he has, and ever since he's checked it out, he's been playing it and really enjoying himself with it. And I think he's going to be really impressed with the new updates that are coming next. I haven't really mentioned it to him, but with like the bounty hunting system, like we talked about last week and stuff. So
yeah,
I mean, even I'm really excited about that. So
Yeah, I want to know how that's gonna work.
well, yeah, I mean, we talked about it kind of in depth last week, and
Yeah. I don't need to go with that again, but I mean, I started doing a little bit of a Sky Factory with Jay.
yeah, how did that go? Did you stream that at all?
Well, I wanted to make that more of a recorded thing because I was more worried about empty spaces of just sitting around like waiting for something to happen. Because
Uh-oh.
I mean, at first he was like, "Let's start with Skyblock," and I was just like, "Well, Sky Factory, we might actually be doing things." And luckily, they have a thing in there where you it's called twerking for trees, where you spam shift next to a tree and it makes it grow. Yeah, just spam, you just twerk around there. But we got to a pretty good point before we stopped for the day. Yeah, that's gonna just be a YouTube thing, definitely.
Which J? The J I'm thinking of, or another J?
Yeah, Justin JG.
Okay, that's
Nice
what I was
guy
thinking.
J. The J.
Nice guy.
The only
I
J.
actually met Jay.
Oh, you want to tell us about him?
Yeah, he's pretty much what you expect, just pretty much how he acts online is pretty much what he acts like in person. Really, got a beard going on and glasses and just yeah, he's really nice. So nice guy Jay. It works out pretty well.
He's got like Geralt of Rivia hair right now.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. I'm trying to.
I haven't seen that picture in a while.
Don't you? Do you have him on Facebook?
I did. I don't know if I do now because I have a new Facebook, so I'm not sure. I might. Let me see. I'm curious if I do.
So Stardew Valley was accepted to be ported over to the Switch, to the Nintendo Switch. I think that's going to be really cool. Because it is, it's a really great little game and everything, and it's really family friendly and stuff. So I think it's a good match.
I mean, not only that, but they do have a couple of like more adult games too, which everyone does think about Nintendo as a family game, but have you seen Bayonetta with that ass? No?
No, I haven't.
You don't know about Bayonetta?
Oh yeah, I know Bayonetta.
Yeah.
I've heard of it, but
like,
I mean, her outfit's made of her hair, basically.
Yeah. And it's like a line for her power, so when you do like a lot of the like super powerful moves, it just turns she just basically turns into wearing a hair thong. Oh yeah. I mean those games are a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
But I mean, it kind of makes sense because that was more like it was kind of more like an anime type of game, even though I think it was developed by a Western company, wasn't it?
Let's check this out, Bayonetta? Yeah. It was made by Sega. And also Platinum Games, who
Sega
is one of the best like game designers around. They did the Metal Gear Revengeance series or thing, the game. Did you ever play that game? Or look at it?
What game is that?
Metal Gear Revengeance.
Yeah. No, the one that I'm thinking of is the latest one. I had actually gotten it and installed it and everything, but there was I was running a Phenom 2 at the time, and it wasn't. It wouldn't run because of certain like architectural. It was missing something in its just like one little thing in its architecture that prevented it from running correctly.
No.
Same kind of problem that No Man's Sky had for me at the very beginning. But I think since then they've patched that.
Well, I think everyone had that issue.
Well, I mean, in No Man's Sky, yes. In the Metal Gear Solid, anybody that was running a certain chip, would have had it too. But I do believe the Metal Gear was patched as well. So, but I don't have it anymore. So, because I returned it so I couldn't play it.
Mm-hmm. That's sad.
Yeah, I could run it now. Since I've updated, my computer back at home, I could get it again and play it on there. But
yeah, I mean, nice little game, but it's very humorous and all that. Yeah. I was gonna lead into something. The hell did I? Oh, we were looking at various Switch games that came out, right?
Yes.
we're just talking about talked about Stardew Valley going to the Switch.
Yeah.
That.
Mario Brothers went over to the Switch, like the first Mario Brothers, like the OG Mario Bros. And last week we kind of barely talked about the fact that Nintendo Switch is having full third-party support. Like 50 people, like 50 partners, such as 505 Games, which I think they do the Halo series, right? They picked up the Halo games, right?
Yeah.
Let me just double check that. No, actually. They're apparently, they published Terraria, Payday 2, Sniper Elite, what the hell? Yeah. They're a subsidiary kind of thing. Weird. But yeah, Terraria is also going there. You got Activision coming to the Switch. Bethesda is putting stuff on the Switch. So like Doom is coming to the Switch apparently, I think. And THQ, which I thought they died, THQ. I thought that they just didn't exist anymore as a company. Didn't they get like bankrupt or whatever a while back?
I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the deal with them was.
Yeah, THQ was defunct in 2013, but
yeah.
What about Nordic?
Didn't THQ, weren't they involved with the Saints Row games as well?
Yeah, Saints Row, Red Rising.
Yeah, it was like right after. Yeah, it was like right around Saints Row 3. I think they started having company issues or something like that. I don't know whether or not it was just mismanagement or if it was financial trouble or what. But I do remember hearing about them kind of folding under.
Yeah.
They may have been bought by somebody that kept the studio alive or something.
Well,
but,
Deep Silver.
I'm not like.
Deep Silver purchased the Volition section, so that's why we got Saints Row 4.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened for the other ones because during that time I was like, oh god, there better be a Saints Row 4. I was scared about that back then. Yeah. I found a little game. You all remember Age of Empires, right?
Oh yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, other than Age of Empires 4 being announced, which we don't really know that much about, I think. There's this little game that I saw, I think it was off Facebook or something, called Empires Apart, which looks a lot like Age of Empires, just in general. It's not out yet though, which is kind of sad, but it's coming out in, this fall. I mean, it is fall now.
So, you guys know about the, Nintendo's new kind of mini console that they came out with, right?
The really overpriced version of
For
uh,
for the retro games and everything.
Oh yeah, the mini.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, apparently there's a mini C64 that's in development, and it can also apparently make new games as well.
oh,
Yeah, I'm getting this right off of Gama Sutra, and it's kind of playing on the success of the Nintendo Mini, and I think that if it's worthwhile, it looks like it would be worthwhile, and if you can create new games with it, that would really open up a kind of sub-market.
what's it called?
A mini C64.
C64. Oh yeah, the Commodore 64. Is it a powerful machine, or is it just like the same specs as when it came out? Oh, and it's not. Well, it's $70. That's. Huh. I mean, I hope what they're doing with it is they're not just slapping that out like as the old one with like the same specs for $70.
Well, I mean, considering that it's probably going to have some extra features such as being able to use a USB keyboard and stuff like that, and the ability to code new C64 games in BASIC, which is actually kind of cool. Bringing back BASIC in a different way.
That's pretty basic.
Well, yeah, but looks like they're planning to release it in early 2018. And hopefully, I hope it's a success, because the C64, the Commodore 64 was pretty big back in the 80s
Yeah.
as far as gaming things go.
Was it a special place in your heart?
No, it doesn't really actually have a special
Oh.
place in my heart, because I never played on the Commodore 64 before. I was of the Nintendo generation when the first Nintendo came out. It was like, I think I was like in first or second grade, when that came out, and aside from the Atari console that my father had, that the Nintendo was the hot new shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so like the Commodore 64 came before everything else. Both me and Zan are millennials, so
Yes, this is true.
we don't know about any of
Filthy
this.
millennials.
Yeah.
yeah, you guys have been spoiled.
Yeah. What's that? A console that doesn't give us 300 frames a second?
What the heck? I can't share this on freaking Facebook? Where's the achievements? Damn.
Yeah. I need achievements and breadcrumbs to lead me across the wastelands. Damn it.
Oh yeah, there's the original Fallout is having like a free weekend or something like that as well. So kind of like those old point and click games. That would definitely be one to pick up.
Yeah, is it? What's it free on?
Steam. I mean, it's like a free weekend on Steam, and I'm sure like after that you'll probably actually have to purchase it. But if it's a game that you haven't played before and you wanted to try it out, it'd be prime opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
actually, you have until the end of the night.
Yeah.
Because I do believe it's that the free weekend or whatever is over at the end of the night. So
yeah, I mean, If you didn't already grab it for free, I think off GOG a while back it was free. Yeah, I own 3 copies of the original Fallout.
Yeah, and an interesting thing also is I don't think it's the original Fallout, but maybe the Fallout 2. There's actually a small community that has worked around putting together an online server for it.
Oh yeah,
The F Online or whatever.
Yeah.
yeah, I've heard of that.
You know, we should check that out as a thing.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, like I saw a kind of thing on, I think it's like Skyrim Together or something, where you can play Skyrim with someone else now, somebody made, or they're working on it. I saw like an actual kind of functional build of it, like a video of like people running around in that. And
yeah, that would be interesting, but I can only imagine the types of problems,
well, yeah,
the types of problems that would arise.
yeah, I think the thing that they're looking at was actually player houses, like how furniture would work with that. And apparently you can do like PvP in that too, which I kind of want to mess around with the whole idea of Skyrim Online. You know, I think that if that was a thing, I'd probably want to have a couple people and try streaming that.
That's what people wanted. Then they gave us Elder Scrolls Online, which is basically an MMO wrapped up in the Elder Scrolls universe, which isn't bad, but
yeah,
it would be interesting if there was multiplayer for Skyrim, though.
Yeah, and the thing is that as much as there's MMOs and stuff that I like and I've enjoyed over the years and stuff, I really like to see something like a new Bethesda game that instead of just having like it be some sort of MMO or something like that, just let us play on LAN. Let us play across the LAN or something. In that style instead of forcing us to subscribe to something like that.
Well, it's not really a subscribe thing at the moment.
Well, I'm talking like an MMO. Free to play or whatever. It's kind of redundant. Yeah, you can go and play the game, but you're going to be spending money on your microtransactions and stuff for things. So in essence, it's kind of a rip. I mean, because
I actually don't think they have many microtransactions in that. It's, the things that they have is actually for like extra areas, like like an expansion pack.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
kind of like Elite Dangerous does.
Hey, can we have a moment where we just bitch about the fact that there are no expansion packs anymore? Like, whatever happened? I look back at, like, to my left, to all these, like, old box sets that I have, and it's like, the Sims fucking house party. You look at the Sims 3 page now on Steam, and it's like, The Sims Katy Perry's Sweet Treats for $10, and it's like, here's some furniture items.
You gotta have it, though,
Yeah. Because I need her fucking sweet treats.
Ooh.
I mean, come on.
All the DLC for Sims 3 is ridiculously expensive, though, if you bought it all at full price.
Yep.
Not as bad as Train Simulator's DLC, though. Which is like, what, $10,000 or something? Something ridiculous.
Well, the thing is that there was a time, where the only way that the best way for them to distribute expansions was through, stores where you got the game basically because there wasn't any digital distribution. And now that we have good internets and, digital distribution platforms like Steam and Good Old Games and Origin and stuff like that, it makes it easier for publishers to get their games and any kind of patching and expansions into distributed that way. And the terminology is changed from kind of expansion to DLC.
Like the only time that we
CC.
ever hear expansion is with like an MMO.
Yeah.
Which,
Yep.
yeah, those are definitely expansion packs.
Right.
Yeah, like there hasn't really been. I mean, I didn't play much of Fallout 4's like DLC. I played like I never got around to it just because every time I'd play it, I'd end up making a new character and running through with that. But
Well,
Yeah.
at first the whole concept of DLC wasn't in the form, it wasn't expected to be something that would handle like a full-on expansion pack or something like that for a game. The DLC would be like small cosmetic things, that you
yeah,
would
like 3 missions,
right, exactly.
map
And you can
packs.
see those on like the Mass Effect games. Oblivion had those few
Yeah, everyone
DLCs.
makes fun of
Horse
Horse
Armor
Armor.
DLC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, But the thing with like Bethesda games and stuff like that, I mean, the DLC, the DLC stuff that's came out with those games is all right, but I
yeah,
mean, it really shines with the mods.
yeah. I
That's
mean,
really where it shines.
the
So
expansions have kind of gotten a bit like I'd call a lot of Skyrim's DLCs expansion. Maybe not
yeah,
Hearthfire.
absolutely.
Hearthfire is probably more of a DLC, while
Eh,
Dawnguard is definitely an expansion. Same with the other one,
right.
Dragonborn. In fact, there was an entire other island you went to. I mean, at that point, yeah, that's an expansion.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'd have to kind of agree though. I'd have to still say that Hearthstone is an expansion in the fact that, it expands player customability. You can build your own house. You really it adds a lot of content to it. You know what I'm saying? You have to go out and collect all the materials to build your house and stuff. And when you build the houses, it takes you to new areas, even though that they're you know cell spaces, inside,
Yeah,
like inside the house and stuff like that.
I only call it a DLC just because it doesn't like add a large quest line or anything or another continent. It does sort of add a small sort of thing that you can spend a lot of time on. Don't get me wrong, I spend probably like 10 hours on just that alone whenever I play Skyrim.
Yeah. And the thing is I think that they've kind of really started to build off of the concept of letting people kind of build their own things, especially with Fallout 4. They added that pretty well, though it still felt really limited. So hopefully in the
Yeah.
future, we actually see more sandbox like environments and building in games like Skyrim. So
Yeah, as long as they didn't like look at all the people that immediately looked at it and said, "What the fuck is this Minecraft shit doing in my Elder Scrolls?" Well, not Elder Scrolls, but
I'm gonna download some sex mods. I mean,
Yeah. Then it got quiet.
You just need to test that out for science.
Yeah, you can come back with that whole that thing next week and tell us how that goes.
well, I've got actually a funny story. I actually have a funny story about sex mods in Skyrim. Because I'm kind of I just I loaded up some of them because I think that some of it's fun. Not necessarily the sex animations and stuff, but just kind of like I think it's funny the way that the developers of those mods kind of like put in this like the little storylines and quests and stuff that you have to do like for
There's actually a quest.
yeah, there are some that are actually quests, and there's actually some mods that really go in depth in the way that they kind of implement stuff like that, like arousal levels and stuff like that.
Like honey pop level type
even
things.
even things like voyeurism, where like if you were to start doing something like out in the middle of the street or something like that, like NPCs will gather around and watch the show. or
Yes.
and you can even have it to where something like that is illegal, so that you would actually end up having a bounty and get arrested for it. So like indecent exposure.
I feel like that's probably the default option of these mods, aren't they?
Right. Well, my funny story is one night I was at home and I invited people over for dinner, and this included like my father, my cousin, and their significant others and stuff like that at the time, and this was like shortly after, it wasn't that long after Skyrim had come out and stuff, and I was talking about it all enthusiastic, and I had totally forgot about these mods, right? And so I was like, I was going to show him this great game, the great graphics in this game, blah, 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 and I loaded it up and I must have saved it like right in the middle, right in the middle of a modded save, and I loaded it up, and it was hilariously embarrassing at the time, seeing me trying to alt tab out of freaking Skyrim as it's loading up. So it took forever for it to kind of switch over. I'm like telling people to get out. But such is the things when you forget about stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, have either of you played or looked at Black Desert or anything? Is that a thing that's still relevant?
Well, I know my friend Pickles used to play it, and I have another friend that plays it on the regular, but I haven't picked it up though.
Well, I have a future stream idea, because it's $6 right now. It's one of the weekend deals along with Super Giants games. Like Transistor and Bastion and their new game Pyre.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are on sale right now. At least it's a weekend deal. No, actually, it's a Super Giants anniversary sale. Huh. Yeah. Would you like to try to play some Black Desert? Because I own it and haven't played it.
I was considering it, but I've been kind of over the whole MMO thing for a while, just because they all kind of run into, I don't know, the same kind of problems all MMOs do. They just get kind of boring over time, and the grinding gets kind of boring. You can say that about a lot of games, but it just, I don't know. It'd be more fun with a friend, I guess. Like, I would definitely play an MMO with a friend.
Yeah,
but
we should try that since, it's $6. If we play it for like 20 hours, then that's a good deal.
Yeah, that's
even if your
not
friend
bad.
is a girl, even if your friend is a girl.
Well, yes, that would make it more worth it. Yes.
Yeah.
We can. I can roleplay as a lady for you, I guess.
You could just use my voice changer, guys.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, you could be the lady.
I'd be the robotic lady.
Yeah. Sorry, but my mic doesn't work too well. Alright, I'm gonna not use that voice ever again. Rocket League's also on sale right now on Steam too.
Yes, Rocket League. That's a pretty decent game.
Yeah. Not really my type of game, but I know when a lot of people like a game. Let's the Fear collection too that's on sale. There's a nice little sale going on right now, actually.
Yeah, they've got it looks like they have a few publisher weekend sales going on right now. As well. So it's always nice to see.
Yeah, but when do they have a summer? Yeah, they had a summer sale this year. What's their next sale that they do? Is it the Halloween sale that's coming up next?
Yeah, I think fall they usually do, and then they also have a Christmas sale.
So what kind of scary game do you think is going to be the hot shit for this Halloween?
That's a good question. Is there anything that's new?
Not
really. Like the past year, it's been like Five Nights at Freddy's, but now that's
don't
really
even
dead.
think that's alive much really anymore. I haven't really heard much since like Sister Location or whatever came out. I know one of the new Resident Evil game has been sort of popping around, but I haven't heard much about that in a while. But yeah, there's obviously gonna be something that comes out. You know, one of those YouTube bandwagon type games.
Like No Man's Sky.
Yeah, the No Man's Sky of horror games. And what? Wait, I don't. Hold on, what? I don't understand what you mean by that.
Well, Cuphead has come out.
Yeah, that definitely came out. Did you? No one's played that between us. Yeah. Yeah, it's on sale for. Well, it's for sale for $20.
Have you guys looked into Hob at all? It was made by the people that did Torchlight.
Ooh, they actually made a new game? Cause I didn't look into that.
It looks nice.
Yeah. And I've been waiting for a Torchlight expansion forever, but they never released one. I like Torchlight too. You know, before like I got really into Path of Exile, I really loved Torchlight 2. I played that after Diablo 3 came out and kind of was a big old stinker. Most, you know.
It's definitely a game that I enjoyed playing with you, and I think we played with Stumptoe a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, you played for probably like 30 minutes though for that, but we played with Jay and Stumptoe. You left early, but yeah, we ran through that game, which was kind of nice. But I mean, it does kind of put off a few people with just the way that it looks, like because a lot of the old Diablo 2 devs went off to make Runic games. Actually, they so here's what happened. Blizzard North disappeared. Like they got basically destroyed and was like, hey, you don't exist anymble
Yeah, when they weren't they picked up by EA or was it
Blizzard North?
No, Blizzard itself was acquired by
it was more of a partnership with Activision.
That's right, Activision.
But what really happened, I think, was during the development of Diablo 3, they wanted to turn it into an MMO, I think. So, I mean, you can look up online with literally type in Blizzard North Diablo 3, and you see a really weird game. Like, really weird looking. Like, it looks like an Asian MMO kind of thing. It's on 3D. They've got various, like, compared to, like, Diablo 3 now and Diablo 2, it looks just really weird. But after that sort of happened, the studio either dissolved or just sort of went off and said, screw you, Dad, we're doing our own thing. And they made a game called Hellgate London. You ever hear of that? Either of you two?
I have not heard of that.
No, it's no longer a thing, but it was somewhat of an MMO, kind of in the line of like all the instances are instanced, and you know when you're in town, there's a bunch of people there, which isn't really MMO-y, but it was a third-person kind of hack and slash type game based in like a more modern era in which hell sort of opened up and invaded. So you had like Templars in power armor, you had like guys in like marksman like armor and like snipers and like assault rifles, and you could make robots and shit, and then you had like occultist guys with like demonic magic and all that sort of shit. And then that sort of became defunct, server shut down, and you know, game doesn't really work anymore. And then I think some of those people went off and made Runic games, or the people that didn't go with that made Runic games, which made Torchlight 1 and then Torchlight 2. And man, I like Torchlight 2. I think I bought like 6 copies of Torchlight 2 and gave them to friends. Yeah, in terms of like the best kind of Diablo-esque game that's out now, I'd say Path of Exile might be one of the betters.
Well, I think there was a game that I was playing not that long ago called The Guild. 1 and 2 actually, and they've actually got a 3 coming out that looks pretty good. It's it's a sim game that Middle Ages sim game.
Renaissance, right?
Yeah, Renaissance, and you kind of get involved in politics and society, and do bribe people and produce goods and trade and stuff like that. It's kind of a neat little game. I enjoyed the other one, so it's definitely going to be one I'll probably check out eventually.
Yeah, it's back in that era. Basically, politics and businesses were the same.
Yeah.
You're like if you're a noble family, you probably had your hands in the pockets of like the leader. And yeah.
Yeah. There's Total War Warhammer 2.
Yeah, that came out.
Yeah.
Which
just came out the other day.
I like the idea of Warhammer games, but I haven't really ever dove deep into it. And this is based off of just Warhammer, not Warhammer 40k.
Right.
And it's actually very positive right now. Hey, did it come out? Yeah, it came out 2 days ago. And it's very positive, which for a Total War game, I feel like that's an accomplishment. Just because the last few like Total War games, like I think every Total War game has come out like completely buggy and unplayable. Kind of nice to see that they made a game that actually works on launch. I think, at least. Yeah, Zan, do you...
Yeah, I mean, well, I remember getting Total War Shogun 2 years ago, and I remember trying to play it, and it just would not. I mean, I had so much trouble getting the game to launch that I have not played it. Even to this day, I still have not played it. So, yeah.
That's coincidentally, that's what happened when I tried to play Dark Souls 1. Just would not work.
Yes.
How long did I spend? I don't even know how it even got fixed. Just like restart the computer after like a bunch of possible fixes that failed, and suddenly Dark Souls 1 works.
Just randomly.
Yeah. Are there any games that like you were excited that came out recently, or that you are looking forward to, Zan?
No, not really. I am looking forward to some games on the Switch, but I don't have a Switch yet, so
What are you looking forward to?
maybe when I get one. I still really want to play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild because that just looks really fun, and I love the Zelda games. Also looking forward to Super Mario Odyssey, that also looks pretty fun as well.
A good buddy of mine got the Switch when it came out with Breath of the Wild, and he got to play for a few hours while I was visiting him one day, and it was loads of fun. It was great, a great game to play. I mean, it just felt good controlling the character, and the visuals were really nice. Enemies were, the NPCs and enemies were, felt alive, kind of, and so.
Yeah, I mean, I think when it came out, people were saying it's like Dark Souls or something. That's kind of a thing that everyone says about every game.
Yeah, even if it's even remotely hard, it's like, oh my god, this is the Dark Souls of this video game genre.
Which, I mean, I think I played a few of the games that people have said that about, and after playing Dark Souls, I mean, I wouldn't say that's something that you can really just say half the time, you know?
Yeah, it's not always so true.
I mean, you know, Dark Souls is more of a, it's more of a stab, leap, stab, dodge kind of game.
Yeah, it's about kind of like reading your opponent and kind of learning the layout of stuff. So that's why you don't like get killed.
Yeah, it's about strength, vitality, endurance, everything you could ever want.
Yes, and giants. Become unstoppable.
Oh, I like those memes. Yeah.
Oh, they're excellent memes. It's also about the fashion, yes.
Yes, fashion souls exist.
Because you could have the best stat armor min-max, but I mean, if it doesn't look good, I mean, I'm not going to wear it, so...
Yeah.
I'd rather wear something that's like pretty much absolute shit and might as well just not be wearing anything. But if it looks good, I'll wear it.
Game that I'm just about to be added to my wish list because I just found it in my discovery queue on Steam. It's called Burning Birch. It's a multiplayer survival RPG. I imagine it's probably kind of in the style of like the new Conan and
What
maybe
is it
Ark
called?
and stuff like that. Valnir Rock.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, but it takes place. It takes place in a Viking setting, which seems kind of neat. I think I'd kind of like that kind of setting. What I'm saying, it's probably closely related to Middle Ages, medieval warfare type of simulation games.
Yeah. I know there was a game kind of like this or like that I was like, oh, cool about, but like I looked at like the reviews and all of them were negative, and I'm like, oh, and like all the reviews were just like the game's dead, they stopped developing it, or nothing really works. And it was like the first game like that I saw that was like, hey, we have magic in the game. Like, oh, cool. Because most of these games there is no like kind of magic based combat or anything. Or if there is, it's like super basic. Like, I know Zan, you played Reign of Kings. I didn't really play it at all. I bought it with the idea of I'd like join a server that you were on, but somebody never helped me get to there.
Well, you just never tried it. But Reign of Kings is pretty much dead. Rust pretty much killed what was left of it. And when the devs abandoned it, like they did their other games.
Yeah. Like Space Engineers is other game, Medieval Engineers. That like completely died, I think. Yeah, this is why I don't really play many early access games anymore. I try not to buy any because most of them just die. Which,
yep.
I mean, I bought like RimWorld. I was kind of hesitant at buying too, but I ended up caving in just because it was really fun looking. Colony Manager, and I mean, if you look at their early access thing, it literally says, "Why early access? The game is already fully playable, balanced, and generally free of bugs," which it is. The only reason why they have it in early access apparently is just because they want to add a lot more to the game. I mean, the game runs perfectly fine and has like no real bugs to it. I mean, there's a few things that don't make too much sense in it, like why is this guy completely depressed at the fact that we killed a pig? Like, the amount of times that my freaking colonists hate somebody because they slaughtered a pig, because when you're raising a group of pigs, tends to be for their meat, But
Right.
yeah, I mean, it's a very weird kind of fun game that you could play, and it really doesn't need to be in early access, but it still is. Yeah, full mod support too. I know. No. And you might actually be able to play it on your work laptop circuit.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you should probably buy it and stream it. So you can become a streamer.
There's a game called Hellion.
Hellion?
Yeah, I got it in. Well, it's in early access. Well, it's kind of like an exploration survival game that takes place in space, and when I got it and I started playing it and stuff like that, it didn't really seem like it had much direction, but visually it was really nice, and the controls weren't so bad, and everything like that. It's just kind of lacked any kind of direction or storyline. At the time that I played it, that may have changed since then. It's been several months since I actually played it. But yeah, it is early access, and it just seems like it's a pretty ambitious project. There's constant update. It's been constantly updated, so I think their dev blog was number 24, and they recently had a patch on the 6th of this month. So, I typically like to see with early access games, I like to see at least monthly patches.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't think that really is realistic when they start getting closer to launch.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly kind of don't care about like a game even patching for 2 months, as long as like the developer is telling you, hey, we're working on this as a patch, but it's not quite ready yet, or they're like, we ran into this sort of issue with this, but we're thinking about doing this and this along with like various like updates, not like actual game updates, but like Starbound right now, there hasn't really been a quote-unquote patch for a little while, but they keep coming out with did I say Starbound or Starmaid? I meant Starmaid.
Content and stuff. Yeah, I mean, and they're still talking to, I mean, maybe it's not so much as patches go, but just having communication with the player base is really important for any developer.
Oh
in my
yeah,
opinion.
I mean, especially after Cube World.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Cube World, DayZ, what's a few other games?
Oh God, H1Z1.
Yeah, H1Z1, which, I mean, that's actually, I wonder how that's coming along. Because
PUBG killed it.
Well, yeah. They started their own kind of, they kind of started the Battle Royale thing, didn't they?
Well, it was actually PlayerUnknown who they actually brought on to the team for H1Z1, who split off to create PUBG after that. They actually created DayZ Battle Royale back in the Arma 2 mod days of DayZ, and then went to H1Z1, and then he made his own game after that.
I mean, I think 7 Days to Die, as Pickles said, isn't that still kind of working? I know Triv's been playing that a lot. But as is, people try to make a game, and the thing that kind of sucks about having a game that's in early access and a bunch of people buy it is you might hit the point where you don't want to make that game anymore because of maybe it doesn't work anymore, maybe the thing that you're trying to do, the original vision, just isn't there and isn't really going to happen. Like there's been plenty of games where they have this entire idea that they have, but when they actually start going on it and they get deeper and deeper into it, it's just not a viable thing to have.
Right, they suffer from feature creep, scope creep, where you're trying to develop the scope of the game and stuff, and new features and new things just keep leaking into it and stuff like that. I mean, we, even when we started kind of planning out and doing some world building for our own game, you know, even over the course of the couple of months that we worked on that, you know, there was just constant creep in there and stuff. And even though that we didn't really get around to creating a general good outline for what we were wanting to make, you know, it just, as more and more content, creating more content, it started to become even crazier to do that. But the great thing about where we were at with what we were working on is that we have this whole kind of like world building kind of thing that we've created, this whole kind of universe and everything, and we can create anything out of that.
Yeah, I mean, we did have a pretty broad idea of what we were going to do. But what I meant is, like, they hit the point where they can't do the thing that they want to do. Or, like, the people that want the game are pulling it in one direction while the developer wanted to go in this direction, but, you know, now they don't really have
management's pulling in a completely different,
yeah.
You know, yeah.
I mean, a good chunk of these games end up dying because of that, you know? I mean, you know, what was it? The guy that made DayZ, he literally said he left the team because he was like a grenade or something like that. Do you remember that? He literally said, "I'm like a grenade. I go in, flash, and bang. But in terms of being on a team, I'm not really good with that." Like he like used that as an analogy for like how he's good with starting a project instead of following through with it.
Right. And you know, the thing is delivery is one of the hardest things that you can get to. It's the end, essentially. Well, it's not really the end, but when you know, shipping your product is hard. And one of the things that they do is, if you're going to, let's say you go and say, hey, you know, I want to learn how to make video games, people will tell you that, listen, you know, you're not gonna make a successful game as your first game. It's just not gonna happen. And you know, 99% of the time, that is the truth. Sure, you have your 1%, you know, that create a game and you know, and it's hugely successful. But you know, oftentimes those people also have a lot of experience and other things. But one of the things that they tend to tell you is that, you know, you have to go and fail. You have to create what you want to create, and you have to fail at it, and you just have to do that until you actually have a successful game. You know, because delivery is hard, and getting to that point, it's so easy to start something and so easy not to finish it. It just becomes a lot harder to actually deliver, especially when you're dealing with things like feature creep and bugs. And you know, video game development isn't easy. Even a very simple game such as tic-tac-toe can be immensely frustrating to develop. Especially if you're developing it from scratch. So
I remember it was literally a Microsoft thing. They had like a game jam going on, and we sort of like, we went there and they started off with, it was like, hey, you don't know how to do anything, come in here and like just try. And like the thing that they first started was trying to make Pong in Construct. And just that alone was really kind of difficult to even make work like Pong. And I mean, you know, the end process after like an hour of even doing it was like, hey, you have two balls that kind of bounce, and like a ball that bounces back and forth, and also when you move one thing, the other side moves, and that's what they ended it with. And they were just like, hey, go make a game. And you know, there are plenty of people that made like Flappy Bird, like runners, but I mean, I stuck with trying to make Pong, and I spent probably 10 hours making this really simple version of Pong actually play like Pong. But yeah. I don't really know where I was going with that. What were we just talking about?
I think we're getting to the point where, we're getting to the point where we're gonna sign off here. It's not, it's 9:15. We're like 15 minutes over here.
It's only been an hour and 10 minutes. I mean, what, you guys don't want to stream for 3 hours?
15 hours a day.
This is a stream that never ends.
Right.
It'll go on forever and ever and ever.
Forever.
Yeah, forever until you slap that bell, like, comment, and subscribe.
Until we run out of birch logs to put on this fire.
And then it'll be the oak, around the oak tree fire.
Alright, the cat's...
Your cat's going crazy.
The cat wants to be on the stream too. He's like, I got games.
He's got games.
The cat's got more games. He's got more games in his Steam library than I do.
Yeah. Hey cat, what do you play this week? Well, there you have it. Well, do you two want to tell anything about yourself before you leave?
No, I'm good at least.
I mean, you don't want to like mention like you're gonna start streaming tomorrow exactly at.
I said that last week, and I haven't started streaming yet, so I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna make any early day promises to our viewers yet.
Well, I mean, Jesus Christ, if you start promising it, you'll be obligated to.
Yeah, see, I don't want to be obligated just yet. Yeah. I need to get things sorted and situated.
All right. Well,
do some time planning.
Would you like to plug anything, Zayon?
Just my Twitch, Twitch TV/Zane, right?
Plug a butt.
Plugging it.
Plug a butt.
We've been playing Dark Souls, or we're gonna at least somewhat play Dark Souls over the next month, probably.
Yes, if we do all games, we probably will be.
I mean, hopefully you start streaming that with me too. I mean, that was the original plan. While you'd stream it, while I also stream it. I'm doing a podcast here. God. Yeah.
He's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's a cat. He doesn't care.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
rub my belly so I can scratch you.
He doesn't scratch me. He likes me to rub his belly. He lets me rub his belly for a good, 3 minutes straight. Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. But,
Alright, everybody. Good night.
Yeah, I want to plug my shit. Come on.
Got nothing plugged. We're already on your plug.
Yeah, I want to say what I'm doing, I got some damn Minecraft Sky Factory that gonna go on my YouTube channel. You can find it, same username. I'm not gonna say it because it adds the mystery of how to pronounce my name, How do you pronounce my name, Circuit?
Therercher.
How do you pronounce my name, Zan?
Therercher.
Alright. Hey. I'm gonna hopefully upload some of that to that. I got a good 5 episodes of that already, and I've been playing that with Jay. I'm gonna do Dark Souls with Zayon, and do, a little bit of RimWorld here and there. Also play a little bit of Path of Exile. I got a friend from Australia that I play that with. Yeah, I'd say we're done.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So, next...
Good night, everybody! Good night!
I'll be back again next week, Saturdays at 9 p.m., 8 p.m.
Subscribe.
Yeah, follow the Twitch for whatever views, and I'll start updating the channel feed before I even, start, probably 30 minutes before. Yeah, we're out!
Alright, check us out next week, guys, for our Around the Birch Fire podcast, episode 3, where we talk about shenanigans and women in video games, and
The crash of Bitcoin.
Other guys in video games, guys that like to be girls in video games.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yes.
So, see ya.